Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So I did a video here not as a replacement but as a supplement to Victory 4x4's install video on this particular bumper. Their video is pretty good, but it did leave out a couple little things I thought, so that's why I did this video. In addition to that, I also added my own fog lights from Diode Dynamics. They were Amber Pros, and also I added a transmission cooler. Okay folks, I should have shown you on these up here. So I wanted to show you real quick how these were operated. You just push them down and you pull them out. Again, I don't have a camera in my hand, and then you can just push them back and then slide them in the hole, push them back down, and they stay there. This is not like crazy engineering, this is just simple stuff. This one was a pain in the butt to get back in. There we go. That's it. That's all there was to it. Here, but these down here, Toyota makes it a lot easier than Ford. You basically just do that. There's a little slot, and then they pull right up out of there. No problems at all. That is what the clip looks like. They operate perfectly. I know it's going to sound like I'm beating up on Ford, but this is way easier than Ford. You basically have to destroy the clips half the time with Ford. So these are this easy that I can do it with a camera in my hand. That's how easy it is. All right, and this piece should come right off. No, we got more? Oh, there's the 10 millimeter. He said right here. Yeah, okay, and then that'll be it. So that should be it. Then we'll rip this top part of the bumper off right here, and then the rest comes off when we take off some more. So in the Victory 4x4, they don't show this. I think this is an adaptive cruise control. This is this piece for right here. I think that's what, so you have to unlock that. We have basically everything apart. We just need to get that plug out. And this piece pops off. I think we're supposed to pop off the black piece somehow. It's just difficult to get to. So just know if you have adaptive cruise control or whatever that thing is, then you're going to have to do an additional step from what they had. One thing that they had differently too, probably a different year, maybe it was an SR5, is the fog light on the passenger side is connected to the fog light on the let's see if I can get it in there, on the driver's side. So once you disconnect the driver's side one, you're good to go. You don't have to disconnect the passenger side one. All right, so here was the plug I was talking about. So it's just one single plug on the driver's side that goes to, as you can see here, it just plugs in here, and then it goes right there, doubles, comes back to the driver's side one, and then goes all the way across to the passenger side fog light. And then this was a bummer. So what you got to do here is you got to press here, and on the opposite end you press on the other one and you pull apart. We had spent a fair amount of time trying to figure that out. We're trying to take off this piece right here too, but this is the one I would suggest taking off, is this one right here. And you do have to unscrew these two bolts too. I don't know if they went over that in the video. They probably did, but those are two 10 millimeters. So we got that taken off, and the little piece. So now it looks like this. So we're going to take off the bumper next, and then we're probably going to install the transmission cooler, and then we'll work on the winch, or the winch in the bumper. I'll pick you up then. Hey guys, so we're doing the instruction, or we're doing the fog lights. So here's the original one. I do like Toyota, they have like this easy way to adjust the stuff. Same with the headlights. I actually do one on the headlights because there's a lot of misinformation out on the videos about headlights. I don't like it. They're actually pretty simple. But so it comes with its own bracket, the Diode Dynamics. So you actually, I was thinking I had to take this off because it has the cool adjustment and stuff like that, but there's no way to actually get this off. This is how it's like built. There might be some way, but there's not an easy way, I don't think. But anyways, the Diode Dynamics comes squared away, so you can do that. And then they have an adapter for your, I'm assuming that goes just in there fine. And in any case, it's pretty easy. Now, over here, they have this big shroud on here, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to kind of figure this out, figure out how to get this off, and then replace the one over here. And then I can put the bumper back on the truck, which is coming along. And as you can see here, I did put the transmission cooler right there. You can't route the stuff down here like I originally wanted to. You have to route it through here because this is going to be where the skid plate piece is right there that goes between the skid plate and the bumper. So you can't put it there. So it has to be kind of up there. I did square it away with some bolts here and right there. I would slide that over just a little bit to make sure you have an easier time of getting that self-tapping screw in. But otherwise, it worked out pretty good. I think it looks pretty reasonable. Like, pretty close to stock looking kind of stuff. That's what I try to do my stuff, so it looks like it's built that way and engineered that way. So anyways, I'll get the other fog light out and then give you guys an update. Okay folks, so I let the humidity in by opening the garage doors, but hopefully I'll get some air in here. But I decided just to pop this to the side. This part over here doesn't come off that well, so I figured I'll just go ahead and replace it and then replace the light, which I did. So the diode dynamics one is in there, and I just put that thing back on there. I didn't think it was worth it trying to go through whatever level of frustration. Plus this thing is pretty floppy right here since it's already been cut, so I gotta make sure that that's squared away. And so now I got this done. This is attached, so now it should be ready to go back in with the diode dynamics, and you can figure out those. They're pretty easy. They just have these screws on each side, and then you just screw them in right here, and that's basically all there is. And then they come with an adapter plug that goes into the OEM wiring harness, adapts to the OEM wiring harness. And I think they have another set. If you have a backlit one, it has another wire to it, so you can run it with the DRL lights if you wanted to spend the extra 40 bucks for backlight, which I didn't. So I guess it's kind of cool looking, but I just thought it was an extra 40 bucks on something that I already spent a lot of money on, so I figured I'd not do that. So that was my thought on that. So now I'm gonna throw the bumper back up. All right, so I've successfully found ways to keep putting the install off. So I did install that little Victory off-road plate right there. I forgot I had to install the bull bar that actually comes with this bumper. And okay folks, so we did have some clearance issues, not with this bar. We were able to move that out of the way. I think that's probably plenty moved out of the way. But this was actually up here because I switched the box. So it was running into this, and even if it cleared it, there was no way I was going to get a plug in there after, if it would just barely clear it, there wouldn't be enough room to actually plug in the control thing. And then this is that's a remote control, which I actually might link up. I had really no desire to use this, but this actually might be best to actually link it up there, keep it linked up, and then just figure out how to mount this. Technically, I guess I could just mount it on the top of that if there was any more clearance. I think I'm really cutting it close though with that bar right there. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I could mount it, could just let it dangle there, I guess, too, zip tie it or something. I mean, it's not really, I guess, critical. I mean, there's plenty of space in here that it's not going to get, molested in any sort of way. I guess I could mount it to the bottom of that too. Either sticky up there or something, and then really there's probably no issue with it going there, except for it'll bump around a lot on the trail. That might not be good. Anyway, so this is going to be a pain in the butt to get these three lined up, and then that one lined up too. But we're going to do what we can. So hopefully the next part will be at at least partially linked up. Okay folks, as you can see, we're quite a bit further than we were before, but we're not quite there. So you really got to make sure that you don't do what I did and try to get everything squared away and then tighten everything down. You got to make sure everything is in line. This control, I think I was telling you before, I had to switch that around. And then also I can't, because of there's going to be a cover across here, right? So I'm going to have to use this remote control, which is good because I already had it. Always kind of wondered why I got it. I'm going to Velcro this. Use exterior, interior Velcro, and Velcro it to the bottom of the new bumper. And so that should work just fine. I need to attach, I have all the lines over here. And then there's actually a ground line at the bottom too, which should be pretty easy to do. And then I have to still hook up the relay or fuse or whatever, and also the switch that turns the winch on. And then this cover goes over that, like something like that, yeah, as you can see that. That may make it to be in before the end of the video or may not, I don't know, we'll see. I do want to obviously have an operational winch, that's the whole purpose of this, doing this whole job, but today it's super hot and I'm tired, I'm about done with all this stuff. So now, getting this to align up here, around here, and down here, as you can see, this actually turned out not too bad. It does come out a little extra here, but I think that's the best I could do. Some of you are going to be better. Same thing here. Goes down here, comes out. It does stick out a little bit here, but I made it a little more jagged on there than I thought, and probably could have cut a little bit more that way. Up here, they're pretty unclear on the Victory 4x4 video when they do that. They don't really spend a lot of time on how and exactly where you're supposed to cut it. Up here, into there and across there, it doesn't matter because the bumper covers the existing bumper and grill pretty well. And down here. But like this bottom part, you want to leave a little more, so you have just a little bit more play to work with there. And then as you can see, I have the little plate right there that they speak of, right there. And I did the same one on this side right here. Wait, where is it? Right there. It's sort of under. Where did that thing go? Oh, right there. See? Right here. So that tied everything in, but you can see, what are we looking at? See the gap there? I don't like that. I think if you cut it a little bit better, you can do away with that gap. And then the other thing is, this was all the hardware that was left. Okay, there's a lot of hardware that's left over. And that's kind of one of those things where, like, I wouldn't hire you if you got that much hardware left over. But that plate that I wasn't sure where it went goes like right here. But they didn't give me a bolt that would fit through here and the giant hole on the other one. And plus, I don't know why I need that plate. So I just put the bolts in there. I put the little fasteners there. I obviously put the bull bar or Baja bar on there, and I actually just threw these you don't need these are just bolts with the nuts on the back of them. I just figured I didn't want a hole, so I just would go ahead and throw those on there and tighten them down. So even using like an excessive amount of hardware, I still ended up with this much left. Now these bigger bolts right here, there's 8 of those, so they were probably for the you have 4 bolts on each side to mount the bumper to the frame. So I decided to just use the stock ones. I didn't see why there was any reason to not do that. So I could have used those pieces of hardware, but decided not to. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'll get a better shot. I got the lights in and everything. Lights work. I had to switch one around. The light connections go in either way, wrong or right, and you just have to flip them around if they're wrong. This one came on. That one did not come on, so I just flipped it around and they both came I have the transmission fluid sitting there because you're supposed to add about a half a quart when you're running the transmission cooler, which is in there. There were no clearance issues with that, with the hoses or the wiring or anything else. That ended up being pretty good. I still need to go get the hard shackles for that, and then I need to go get the Velcro for that controller you see right in here, right there. And so that'll be pretty accessible too from there if I need to do something with it. And then this will just strap over to the shackle. Anyways, I think that is about it. Okay, wrapping this up, we're gonna go ahead and cut with some scissors there. This, to match that, put a stick of it on the bottom. And then I got some self-tapping screws as well that should do the trick for mounting the switch and the fuse for the winch on the side there. Just to make sure, hopefully nothing is behind that firewall area. And because I only got 5/8 self-tapping screws, so it shouldn't be too big a deal, but and you never know. So I'll get this tied up, and this will pretty much wrap up this whole project. Okay, so this is the final look of it with the front bumper completely done. I think it looks pretty good. I still need to get, I say completely done, that's not true. I'm like a couple more days construction. So I need to get another hard shackle for that and a smaller one for this with, I just got this from Home Depot and I didn't like it because there's a lot of space on both sides. So I'm trying to get a slightly tighter one. And then I'll get some isolators as well. And then I'll just hook that there. I even got the winch hooked up so it works from the remote. The remote was stickied down there. You can see the controller right there, that black box. It's Velcroed there, so I can move it if I need to. And it's constantly plugged in, pretty well protected. And I'll do a shot of the lights at night so you get a chance to see it. Okay folks, so I'm inside the vehicle. Hopefully this part of the video will turn out decent. That is the daytime running lights, and then oops, that's nothing. That is the headlights, and then this is the fog lights. So they're pretty bright. And it didn't dip much at all. It might have dipped like maybe a 1/4 inch. And it almost looked like it had a squat to begin with in depending on how I had it parked. So I think it looks pretty good right now, even with that heavy bumper and winch on there. And so I think that turned out pretty good. I'm pretty psyched about it. So so hopefully my video will help you with like installing it. Again, pay particular attention to this cut right here on the bumper, as well as the other side. This into here, the aftermarket part hides pretty much any indiscretion you might have if you cut it a little too short, a little too long. If you cut it too long, you just keep cutting it. But if it's cut a little too short, it's probably fine, as long as you don't cut into the grill here. Don't want to cut into the grill. That would be bad. And as long as you don't get crazy cutting into the bumper up here, you're fine. So you can't tell any imperfections there. And here, and I finally did get this aligned correctly. I had to move the bumper over some, and boy, that was a chore to try to get these lines right here lined up with that corner, and then lined up with this corner. In fact, this is still, like if you look at it, of course, this kind of goes down, and this is, the bumper's a little further up over here, and I'm not sure how to fix that. It's really hard to tell unless you're really looking at it. But in any case, I think it all went pretty well. I think you can see it worked out pretty good. They give you that transition from the bumper to the factory skid plate. And the only thing is I have a little gap right here and about the same gap on the other side. So that'd be my only issue with, I think, how the whole thing turned out. Otherwise, it looks, I think, pretty stinking good. So if this video was helpful, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. And if you want to see more projects that I do, whether it be on vehicles or the house or whatever, then feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.